Hello, I'm Jerry Fort. I'm going to read a story out of this book here. The United States of Cryptids, a tour of American myths and monsters by J.W. Ocker. I only read these for fun. I did not read them. I don't make money on my videos. It's just a hobby. So I'm not making money from reading these, just to let anybody know. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see what's going to be our story for today. Let's do let's do a slide rock bolter. How about that? Slide rock bolter, page 237. Wow. Back toward the back. There we go. Go ahead and mark this one so I don't forget. Slide rock bolter. What do you think that means? Slide rock bolter, landslide transmogriffied, transmogriffied. Okay. Type, it's a cetacean. Location, Rocky Mountains of Colorado. Earliest sighting, 19th century. Notable feature, hooked tail. That could be dangerous. You hear a rumble on the mountain above you. Feel a vibration that shakes the ground. You quickly make peace with your fate as you turn, expecting your final earthly sight to be an ominous cloud of crushing rock and choking soil racing down the mountain, both your killer and your gravedigger. Instead, you see something else sliding down the mountain. It looks like a whale. You still die, though, just confused, and you're eaten instead of crushed by a slide rock bolter. The original source of this Colorado creature is William T. Cox's Fearsome Creatures of the Lumber Woods, published in 1910. In that work, which I've referenced a couple times in this book, Cox wanted to preserve the lore of what he feared was a vanishing species, the lumberjack, and especially the strange creatures. The lumberjack and especially the strange creatures and monsters they saw in the dark, isolated woods while logging. It's unknown how many of the 20 creatures in his book are actual tales he heard from burly men with axes or creatures he just made up. But most of the animals within appear for the first time in the written record there, including the magnificent slide rock bolter. Before I go on, here's the slide rock bolter. Said it kind of resembled a whale. The magnificent slide rock bolter. The slide rock bolter is a large carnivorous land whale with small eyes, a wide mouth, and a hooked tail that it uses to anchor itself to the sides of mountains. The creature's coloration and skin texture are perfect camouflage for the environment, making it look to all the world like a flank of mountain. When it spots prey, in parentheses, which Cox writes are often tourists, it lets go of the mountain. Its weight, the steep incline, and lubricating saliva streaming from its mouth combine to give it the speed of a landslide as it shoots downhill, flattening trees, pulverizing boulders, and scooping up edible animals with the effortlessness of one of its ocean cousins sifting krill. And scooping up edible animals with the effortlessness of one of its ocean cousins sifting krill, the whale, easily sifting krill. It then uses inertia to ascend the next incline like a skateboarder in a half pipe, where it flips around and anchors its tail to wait for its next victims. The only specific story Cox tells of a slide rock bolter is one in which a forest ranger kills one of the massive beasts on the slopes of Lizard Head, a mountain in the southwest corner of the state. The ranger dresses a dummy like a tourist, in parentheses, complete with expensive coat and field guide, and stuffs it full of explosives. The slide rock bolter takes the bait and slide bolts down Lizard Head to swallow the dummy. The fake tourist explodes in the creature's mouth, scattering blubber across the landscape and flattening half of the nearby town of Rico. Rico was a 19th century mining town focused on extracting gold and silver from them thar hills. History doesn't say it was flattened by falling cryptids pieces. It also doesn't not say that. In parentheses, it says it also doesn't not say that. But after the mines dried up and the industry was abandoned, many of the buildings decayed into debris. Some have hypothesized that the real connection between the slide rock bolter and Rico was that the lumberjacks who moved in when logging replaced mining saw wide trails of rubble in the mountains, as well as other environmental damage from mining, which looked a lot like the trails of a slide rock bolter. Now that you've heard this tale, and before we write off William T. Cox as a fantasist, it should be stated that the man knew his wilderness. He was the state forester of Minnesota and commissioner of conservation, and spent his life working with governments to manage forests throughout the U.S., Canada, and Brazil. No other state has anything close to this creature. A cryptid avalanche like this one could only live in a place like Colorado, with its towering steep mountains. Of course, instead of celebrating this unique beast, Colorado has a Sasquatch outpost museum in Bailey. But if you ever find yourself among the peaks of Colorado's Rocky Mountains and you see a cleared path shaved down a mountainside, sure, maybe it was for telephone wires or a ski slope. Maybe a landslide scoured it clean, or maybe it's evidence of a rock slide bolter in action, in which case, maybe look out behind you. Okay, the old slide rock bolter. He doesn't have any fins or, any legs. He just slides on his belly. and uses his hooked feet to hold him somewhere. So he's like a bomb ready to be let loose. And then he just slides down. And he's probably going like this, you know. And as he's going down, you know, there's a little lizard, you know, jumping around. He scoops him up, eats him as he's going down. But he has a tourist in sight, so he's aiming for him. Before the tourist knows it, he's already got the tourist in his mouth. He's eating him up. But there you go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is the United States of Cryptids, a tour of American myths and monsters. J.W. Ocker. See you on the next one.